It's time to upgrade to this behemoth. Will it fit? The short answer is no. The long answer is abso-positively. I need to let that just soak in for a whole nother week before I start on that project, you know. So, do yourself a favor, soak her down, you know, take a nap if you need to, whatever. Look at this motor even has these kind of nuts, huh? All natural. What will Ford come up with next? I don't know. Dang, Gina. All kinds of issues here.
Yes, but we got bigger problems.
Unfortunately, my computer got stolen this summer. All the editing that I had done has disappeared.
Disappeared?
At least you can say, hey, if Mike can do it, I can do it. So I just want to give you encouragement to get out there and do it. You know, just try. And if you fail, it's okay. It was broke before you started. So to save money, I went to U-Pull Our Parts and got an intake over there. And we're going to put it on this car. Alright, day 2 here at U-Pull Our Parts. Alright, there it is. We made her down to the valley. I can see some stuff was in the coolant. So, interesting. Get that intake cleaned out. Now, the big question is it going to fit on, is it going to fit on my car? Alright, here we have our stock 1998 Lincoln Town Car. We're getting there, so it's not stock. And one of the fail points of this is this plastic intake, and fancy work I did in a parking lot not too long ago.
I feel a flashback coming on.
And then I filed this whole plastic down, and then I put JB Weld on it and bolted it down. It's got me by so far. Alright, let's see here. This is where the dashboard says we're at on the thermostat. We're only about 50% as far as our heat goes. Now I'm going to show you an image of what the scan tool says we're doing right now. But now it's time to upgrade to this behemoth. Will it fit? The short answer is no. The long answer is abso-positively. Because that's what I do. We got here a 2004 F-150 aluminum intake, and it's quite a bit bigger than the stock plastic intake, but that's good because I want low-end torque, because this is going to be a tow rig, because, you know, my ride's got to earn its keep. So that's what's going on there. And you may ask yourself, where in the world do we start? I mean, we got some hoses, we got some doodad dingers, we got some, you know, we got some all kinds of things here going on, you know, to disassemble and reassemble. And don't overwhelm yourself. Just do one step at a time. There's a lot of steel bolts and aluminum, and they don't get along very good. So I always like to put penetrating oil on the day before, the week before. This also provides a great procrastination opportunity for you. Okay? So, I mean, some of us, we need those opportunities to say, you know what? I need to let that just soak in for a whole nother week before I start on that project, you know? Do yourself a favor, soak her down, you know, take a nap if you need to, whatever. Then break her apart. Alright. It's already after midnight. Gee willikers. I'm going to try to get as much stuff loosened up as I can And that's going to give me a good idea tomorrow how to attack this and really get it done quick.
Yeah, right.
Looks like we got 8 mil and 11. Since when do we start using 11? Yeah, it's also the same as 7/16. They're kind of the same. Go. Any rate, we're going to get this thing out of the way. Alright, what are we missing here? Oh, jeez, look at that. Cool. Don't forget to unplug it. There we go. We'll slide this sucker right on out. Okay, now we are getting places that we can see, can get more confident in our approach, because that's so much easier to work on back here. These are simple, they just squeeze together. And this one is on the bottom, you push that down. Starting to get a lot of extra doodads here. So, right now, something that's important to do, especially if you've never taken something apart, you're going to want to get any kind of tape that you can write on legibly. And then, for example, if this is the first thing I was pulling off, I would mark 1, okay? And then I would put that on this item. If I don't know what it's called number 1, okay? And then I do another 1, okay? Boy, it'd be nice to have fingernails right now. Wow, I can't even pull up tape. You take your number 1 and put it on there. Now you know when this is, laying in the mist of confusion, oh yeah, this is number 1, and this is number 1 also. There's the throttle cable there. Alright, how does this doodad come off? Just come on out. Don't be shy. Gizmo gadget. Well, we'll just leave that. Hey, look at that. You don't need a specialty tool. You got this. And don't forget your heater hose that's connected to the intake. Oh, look at that. Someone's storing nuts down here. Look at this motor even has these kind of nuts, huh? All natural. What will Ford come up with next? I don't know. I need this 7 mil for the coilovers, and I need an extension. So what I did is I got this 1/4-inch drive that goes in your impact driver, and then I grabbed a 1/4-inch socket, and then I got my adhesive tape and just marry them together for a minute, because it's just annoying when it falls out all the time. Okay, so that should stay. Alright, let's get rid of some intake bolts here and hope that everything else is done. I doubt it. Oh, fuel lines. I knew we forgot something. So when you do fuel lines, you really want to relieve the pressure, and somewhere along your fuel line you're going to have one of these, and you just need to relieve the pressure on that valve stem, which this valve stem is just loaded with pressure. Not safety off of there. There's a little spring in here, so we gotta use this Husama What's It tool to unlock it. Oh, another trick is to use the air hose. Can you see that spring inside of there? That's what we were trying to push out of the way so it would come off of that line. Now remember, I'm going to push and I'm going to pull. Once I feel like it's seated, then I can pull. Just like that. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, if there's fan noise in the background, I gotta be like Reese's. Sorry, not sorry. It's hot. It's summer. All right. Now we're talking. Look at that. Woo! Game changer. We got it out. I hope you saw that. That sucker could have easily went down the intake. That would have made a mess. Alright, we're gonna grab that scraper now. Yeah, we want to have a nice clean surface. Oh, nasty. Look at this, sweetheart. Yeah, so this is just a standard socket here, no. But we still gotta get them out of there. So I'm gonna take this rubber hose that we took off the car, and hopefully it's straight-ish enough that I can just slip that onto the... See how that works? If you don't have one of them fancy sockets that grabs it right away, just take a hose off the car. You can pull it right out. Yeah, these suckers are gapped farther than the San Andreas Fault. We'll do just a smidge. What's the likelihood we're gonna pull this out again? Not very likely, but you know, I like good habits. Whew. Bless me. I have a question. Why don't people say bless you when you cough? Why wouldn't you? Say, hey, I hope you get better. To the other side.
The other side? What's on the other side?
You see, I don't trust myself with a regular handle, so I have to use these mini ones, so I'm less likely to break things. And there you have it, torqued. Alright, well, it turns out that I have to cut off this tab here and here, and then it'll sit nice. This tube's gonna be a really big problem for me. I still haven't figured out how exactly I'm going to relocate it. I just used a 10mm ratchet wrench and took the nut off that was holding the ground, and be sure that this sucker gets attached, because if you don't have this attached, you're gonna have a whole heck of a lot of problems. Alright, well, I'm very curious to see how this operates, so we're gonna unbolt it. There we go. Ooh, that is to be expected, oily. What the heck does this thing do? obviously I need to do a little bit of research here on what that doodad does, because I have no idea. That's next on the agenda, is clean this up. And when I got nothing better to do, figure out what this is all about. Put down in the comments below what you think this thing is.
That's actually a good idea. We'll all take a brief intermission.
It's always nice to have a wide putty knife. You're actually going like this, you know. This one's just barely big enough to do what I want it to do. And just, you know, coming from the edges. Alright, well, I'm really impressed with this gasket kit. It's got, well, this one, I threw this one in there. This is the EGR valve gasket, just in case I needed it. You get your lower intake gasket, and you get your upper intake gasket. You get your thermostat O-ring. This is the expensive Felpro one. It's like $10 all by itself. Oh man, there it goes. And then you get these O-rings for your injectors, and this fancy throttle body gasket. So that's a pretty good setup there. Something I do notice about this gasket, got these spacers in there, and these are raised up the height of the gasket. So I'm just gonna set this on there. Just grab this socket that fits around here and grab my hammer.
Pops right out. Don't take much effort, actually. See, 2 hits.
I could even make it 1 hit.
See.
Yeah, 1 hit. Comes right out. Fits like a glove. Alright, let's set this on there. Now I've just taken the extension off of my ratchet, and I just turn this by hand, the bolts, so then I know that they're not binding and they're not going to cross thread. And I'm going to torque from the inside out. There we go. Good as old. Alright, let's just take a gander at these two. So here's the stock intake over here. And then here's the truck intake over here. They're a little bit different in size. Let's see what it looks like bolted in. Alright, here we got the throttle body that came off of the Lincoln here, and then we have the throttle body that was on that 2004 F-150. I was just going to swap. I was just going to put this one on the, but you can see the pattern is a little bit different, just a wee bit. So we can't swap these. We're going to have to partial swap them. I'm going to take this off and put it on here. Hopefully it fits. So, is this recording still? I can't believe it's already almost 4 a.m. See, with a file you can get a nice even flat surface when you do it correct. But when you use this thing, it can go all over the place. There we go. Boy, wouldn't that be nice to gasket match that? Carve all that out nice and smooth. On a different day, that's for sure. Now I'm trying to remember which bolts are supposed to go in here. Jeez Louise. Alright, I gotta make this bracket, or this plate cover. So I'm just gonna cut. Already drilled out some holes here. Now I'm just gonna cut it in half. Alright, we gotta make this hole a little bit bigger. Got our thermostat in here, our O-ring, and our housing.
Nope, that's 100% in the way.
There you go, good enough.
Well, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for you.
So the aluminum intake bolts are shorter than the plastic intake bolts. I'm not much of an unboxer, but we're gonna see how this goes. Woo! Mama, look at these. If those don't look like genuine speed, I don't know what does. It says lethal voltage on there. Bravax performance with a checkered flag. Yeah, you know this is, high quality here. You need to get yourself some, you don't need to, but I would suggest getting some dielectric grease. Those words, dielectric grease. And then you just, a dab will do ya, or a glob will do ya. It's fun to put new parts in sometimes. Especially when you get them cheap on Amazon. If I pick up the wrong socket again, I might have to just call it a day. Oh, there it is. It's 11 millimeter. This is what happens when you don't get sleep. You get discombobulated and unable to comprehend. So I did this, I capped this off because I have to figure out a different way because the EGR valve is way over here, the opening on the throttle body. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make that happen. A different day. Okay, now we're getting closer and further away. So this, we could just plug this right in here. Oh, great. Oh no. Are you serious? Oh, I forgot about this wire harness. These injectors are a different plug-in style than these ones. Dang, Gina. All kinds of issues here.
Yes, but we got bigger problems.
Alright, let's just step back here for a second. It's, double check my time. Yep, it's almost 7 a.m. Worked on this all night, and I turned this. This was in the rear. Okay, this was facing the rear, and I turned it around because this was on this side, so I could plug it in. But then, guess what? I realized. I just went to put the alternator on, and it won't fit because this is here. Nice.
Nice? Nice!
And then I totally forgot about this monkey mess going on over here because I don't have the factory throttle body. I got to make a new bracket. And the list goes on and on. You know what? I think it's time to just call it a day, go take a nap, get up and go to work, and then come back delirious and work on it tonight. Yeah, that's a good plan.
Oh, it just might work.
Alright, well, I'm gonna pull this intake out again because that's what you do when you customize. We're just learning this on the fly, how this all fits together and operates. Okay, so we got the intake upside down. Let's see if we can't shimmy this on the underneath side. Yeah, near impossible. Well, I'm at a conundrum with this fuel system. The OEM part does not fit around this intake because it was designed to sit on top of the original intake. This one fits perfect, except it's got no fuel pressure regulator and no return line. So I gotta decide, am I gonna cut this hose and then put a splice in it, or am I gonna go hunt down some more parts from that vehicle I got this out of and try to make it work? We'll find out. Okay, so you can notice on the factory intake of the 98 Lincoln Town Car, the this hole here is covered. Okay, but on here, and there it is right here, not covered. So what my idea is here is I'm going to tap a 1/2 inch NPT thread, which is basically pipe thread. Okay, so a 1/2 inch pipe thread is what I'm going to tap in that to fill that hole. All right, let's get after it. All right, I think we got a good size here. All right, now upon further inspection, I realized it is embarrassing. It's real, but I'm going to show you where this hole goes. Can you believe that? It goes, the hole goes right to here. It just goes to midair. There's like nothing, there's nothing there.
Oh, he's the Captain Obvious guy.
All right, here we go. Let's set this intake in here. We got to make sure that we're using the, you got to remember which one's which, where they are, what did I do with them. These are the right ones. Okay, so this long one is for plastic and the short one is for the aluminum intake. That's the difference. All right, something else I'm doing is, you can see some of these bolts are not the best shape, so I'm taking my worst looking bolts and I'm putting them right up front. That way I know that the rear ones are gonna catch and that the front ones I can fight with a little easier. All right, you know, after you pull out your old injectors, you can see that hole, that's where the injector goes. Always, you know, make sure that that's cleaned out. Like that one. That one's cleaned out pretty good. What I do is I put a steel wire brush on the drill, and I just go like this. Yeah. Cleans them out pretty quick. So basically I'm just hosing these off. There you go, nice and clean. And I get my lithium grease out. And this, you know, helps to lubricate and seal. You know, it was real nice when I took these intakes apart and I had them in separate trays as far as bolts go, but since that time things have changed a wee bit, and oops, I got them all mixed up together. So alright, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to loosen up these the lines here. There's some bolts holding it against the frame, so we're gonna get rid of those.
Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
We'll be right back after this.
Thank you, God. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, I hope you were entertained. Hey, until something else breaks, we'll see you later.